Hey guys, how's your day going? I hope you're having an amazing day, because I know that personally I am. And welcome to another banger video. In this video, I'm going to be telling you about the time that my friend got assaulted by a teacher at our school. So, make sure to like the video, because if you don't, I can guarantee you personally, because it's happened to me firsthand, I can guarantee you personally that the government will come to your house and arrest your family until you like and subscribe. And you don't want that happening to you, who's going to make you food during this quarantine. So, go ahead and like the video. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules, I just tell them. So anyway, this story happened it happened a couple of weeks, months maybe. I think it happened right before Christmas last year. So it happened a few months ago. And so here's what happened. To get the story set up, I had science with my friend. And our teacher was not the sharpest tool in the shed, to say the least. He thought that things like ADHD, a diagnostical illness, could be cured simply by eating healthier. But that he isn't really a big part of this story, so it's whatever. So we're learning about the solar system. I have no idea why. I really didn't care enough. I was failing that class actually because I didn't like it. It's a bad, useless class. Learning about sedimentary fucking rocks is not gonna help me invest in the stock markets, nor is it going to help me make actual money. But that's besides the point. So he wanted to tell us about how the sun works on Earth, because we don't know apparently that the Earth rotates on its own orbit. In case you guys don't know, sun turn in circle daily. That is why time change, Pacific Standard, Eastern Standard, and everything else. It's very simple. I don't know why he was teaching it to us in 8th grade. So we go to the mat room because there's a fucking projector in there. I don't know why there's a projector in the mat room. It makes literally no sense. So there is for some reason, but whatever. So we're in there, and he's basically showing us, like, we had this like ball of styrofoam, I guess, and we had to put a toothpick in it. So for some reason, we're doing that, and he's like, "See, so you guys see, when you turn it slowly, the light won't actually show on both sides. It'll only show on one side, and that's why in places like Australia, they don't their daytime could be our nighttime and vice versa." Or whatever. I wasn't paying attention because I already know how this works. And so he is doing that, and my friend, I'll call him Richard, why not? So Richard is messing around, and he's like, "But what happened if it got into sun? Checkmate." You know, being fucking retarded, as one person does. And so he's messing around, and so he's told to go to the corner like it's time out. But he's not told to not be on his phone. So what he does is, because it's the mat room, all the mats are rolled up and they're in the corner. He basically starts like walking on them and trying to balance on them. That's basically what it comes down to. That's what he's doing. And he falls, and the teacher's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, well, you see, Balancer, haha. And his teacher's like, God damn it, Richard, okay. Those weren't his actual words, obviously. He's like, whatever, okay. Richard, please stop. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to send you out of class. And he's like, alright, sorry. So, Richard is just like on his phone, messing around. And I feel like I need to bring this up because this is part of the story, technically. There was a there was a special education student in our class sometimes, and this happened to be one of them because one of those times. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't get any sleep last night. But anyways, this happens to be one of those times, and so this kid is here. And usually he gets cool teachers. Like, I'm pretty chill with most of my teachers, except for this teacher, who I am not chill with. My science teacher is stupid. My science teacher has an IQ of less than 3. Really don't understand why he's allowed to teach us, like, anything. Because he semi-brings his political beliefs and his, religious beliefs into science class. I really can't explain why. He just has a really big ego, mainly, is what I'd say it boils down to. He likes talking about himself. But anyway, I digress. What he does is, so, like I said, there's this special education student here because he was interested in this. And the teacher he got was, I mean, she was cool, I guess. I mean, I didn't hate her. I didn't like her, though. I only knew her for one specific reason. I'll say why. In our school, we have this thing called character strong. And basically what that means is that we have to try and do these weekly tasks to try and be nice to each other. I don't know. My school... I'm sorry, guys. My school treats us like we're young children, and I don't know why. But it is what it is. I'm so funny with these pauses. I digress. So, I only remember her because the character strong was to try and say hi to someone, because sometimes even saying something as simple as hi or I like your shirt or I like whatever can make someone's day much better, which I feel personally is super wrong. Not once have I been out having a really bad day and someone's like, "Oh, my, I like your shirt." And I'm like, "Oh my god. It, he likes my shirt. Thank you. You are exactly what I needed today." I mean, I've never been like that. I don't think anyone has, honestly. So, she said she liked my shirt, and then she's like, "Oh, hey, I just realized I did the thing without even thinking about it." Which, I mean, like, yeah, woohoo, you're a decent fucking human being who, not even decent, just normal, who, when they see a shirt, will comment on the fact that they like it. I mean, you can be a bad person, too, and do this shit. It's not hard. People have done it before. So, that's why I know her. That's how I know her, at least. And so what happens is, my friend in the corner drops his phone. And this teacher was, like, getting antsy or something. I don't know. You guys can tell me if the sound of a phone dropping onto some mats can, like, trigger something in special students. I don't really know, because I don't really work with special students. But that's what you can help me with. Anyhow, I digress. She gets mad at him and she's like, "Come here now." And so Richard grabs his phone and she's like, and he comes over to her, and so she's like, what do you think you were doing? And he's like, I was on my phone and I tried grabbing it and I dropped it. And she's like, why were you on your phone? And he's like, because I was allowed to be. Did I do something wrong? She's like, yeah, you were messing around over there. And he's like, but I really wasn't. I was trying to grab my phone out of my pocket and it slipped my hand. And she's like, I don't believe that. Which, I mean, as a teacher, isn't your job supposed to, like, trust your students? Trust that they won't lie to you? Isn't that your job? I mean, comment if I'm wrong, but whatever. And so anyway, she's like, I don't believe that happened. And he's like, well, cool. You don't need to believe that that happened. You can't do anything either because you don't have proof that that didn't happen. And I can tell you, as the holder of the phone, first-hand recollection, I saw that shit happen. And she's like getting in his bubble, telling him that he's a liar and that she just can't believe that he would lie to her like that. Stupid shit. And he's like, get out of my bubble. And she's like, no, I'm going to continue to berate you. I hope I use that word in the correct sentence, otherwise it's going to sound weird. But basically, she just doesn't get out of his bubble, as any harasser doesn't. And so he's like, you know what? No, I'm done with it. And I think his words were something along this. I couldn't hear too much at this time because they were basically outside of the mat room. But I'm listening, dude. I'm definitely listening. And he's like, you know what? No, I'm done with this. I told you to get out of my fucking space. Move. And he walks. So with how it's made, in the mat room, you would walk out, take a left, walk forward, take a right, and then you'd walk forward again, and then there'd be a door so you could leave the full mat room itself. And so he basically moves into where he would need to walk right and then walk forward to get to the door. And she follows him because he said that he was going to report her to, like, the superintendent or whatever the fuck. And she's like, hey, you can't do that. I was talking to you. And he's like, yeah, and I asked you to get out of my personal space multiple times, and you refused. This is considered harassment, which I could, technically, have legal actions taken. And I think at this point she realized that she wasn't really in a... She was kind of in a bad situation right here. And she basically... She basically held him against the wall, saying that he couldn't leave the room. And so, I mean, at this point, this is at the least assault, maybe aggravated assault, and for sure harassment. This is not looking very good for anyone, especially her. And so he does the logistical thing that any normal fucking human being with more than one brain cell would do, and told her to get off of him, otherwise he was going to get himself out. And she said no, so he pushed her, which I usually would not support. Do not get into fights, you fucking retarded hermits. But, I mean, when you're pushed against a wall by a special education teacher, do you really have any other thing to do? So, whatever. He pushes her out of the way, and she, like, over-dramatically falls. I could hear her fall, and I could hear her just gasp. Like, when I say gasp, it's like that Karen kind of gasp. You know that gasp where, like, they're like, yes, so I want to use this coupon, but they're saying that it's expired, whatever that means. And you're like, fucking lady, stop it, please. No. And she's like, I can't use my expired coupon. No. Like, it's that kind of gasp, the kind of gasp you get from a Karen when she wants to speak to your manager, and the kind of gasp you get when you push a special ed teacher who's pushing you against a wall. I can't fathom this shit. But either way, she's like, wow, I can't believe you just pushed me. I'm going to call the cops. And this is all I could really catch at that point. Just, I'm going to call the cops. So I was like, wow, Richard, you must have done some really stupid shit. At least that's what I'm thinking. And he's like, okay, yeah, do whatever. And he leaves. And so that's the end from what I can get anything of. Then the next day arrives. And Richard isn't at school. In fact, Richard and the special ed teacher are not at school. And so this teacher, the science teacher, I go to him and I was like, hey, do you have any clue as to what happened with Steven? And he's like, oh yeah, he got suspended. And I'm like, oh, what for? And he's like, I actually don't really know. Do you know anything at all? And I'm like, no, I don't really know anything about what happened. And he's like, oh, well, all right then. And so I'm confused because he's suspended now. And so I'm like, what happened? So I message him when I get home that day, and I'm like, hey, Richard, what happened, buddy? And he's like, well, you see, and he relays the story to me. And so I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, exactly. And I'm like, so wait, what happened then? And so here's the juicy bit. Before I get to it, I'd like to say thank you for watching this far into the video. Since you're watching it, you must clearly enjoy this kind of content, and I upload this occasionally, so you might as well like and subscribe. I'd prefer the like over the subscribe, but at the same time, I'm definitely not opposed to both. I say like and comment mainly because YouTube wants that. I need that to get shown to more people and grow. So yeah, anyway, thank you. Back to the story at hand. So here's what he tells me. He basically tells me, and I can't get over this, it still hurts my brain. The teacher called the cops after assaulting him because he assaulted her and she didn't do anything to deserve it or whatever. I can't comprehend that kind of thought process. And so they arrive, and so my friend is in one room talking to the principal, not the principal, the vice principal and a police officer. And then so he tells them what happened, and she ends up talking to them as well, and she tells them what happened as well. And here's the part that really pisses me off, because of course this would happen. It's a school, and so of course the school is going to side with the teacher who they fucking are paying. And it genuinely makes me mad because he was able to send proof, and I could hear the shit. So it just annoys me that he gets suspended. They tell him that it's like, okay, fine, you're gonna have to be suspended for 2 days. You can come back on Monday because we don't want any problems. Like, I'm sorry, is your special education teachers running low? What the fuck? This guy is defending himself. Like, what the fuck do you want me to do? No, you're not gonna tell the principal that I'm physically assaulting you and harassing you. Lamau, here, I'm gonna push you against a wall. What you going to do about it? Like, what do you want me to do? Just stay there? Oh, okay. And then pull up my phone so that she could take it? Like, whatever. So he gets suspended for 2 days, and then here's the real kicker, right? I'm pretty sure I don't have factual evidence, but due to the fact that I didn't hear about her getting suspended, I'm pretty sure she both kept her teaching license and was also able to keep teaching and not get her license suspended or anything after physically assaulting a student. This situation makes me mad in so many different ways. The school system in this situation is like so fucked. But yeah, he ended up coming to school, calling her I don't know. He came up with a creative, not creative insult for her. I don't know. It was funny. I laughed. Everyone laughed. It was a very funny situation, except for the part where he missed out on 2 days of school because the school system is really fucking trash. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, remember to hit that like button and subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss another of my beauty miss uploads. Goodbye, my beauty miss midgets.